The race for survival shifts up another gear. First to 5 race wins, and you're in the Louis Vuitton Cup final. American Magic, they will lead Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, but the Italians are stalking.
The Americans were not slow today. We execute some maneuvers better than them. Still not at our best, but probably also they were not selling at their best.
Coming down, happy to come down a little here, please.
Are we dipping?
Coming, yeah, we're ducking, coming down, please.
Coming down.
He's behind us to window, so keep the speed.
That's a protest on
Go button for the protest.
This is what you call America's Cup racing. That will be another race win to Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli.
Bad luck, guys.
I'm never happy with coming in with 2 losses, but they were close losses.
Good comeback, boys.
They will go 2-0 against American Magic
Happy or we know.
in the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals.
We've got to go out there and win 2 races. If we don't, we're going to be in trouble.
Major speed on the first downward leg for Ineos Britannia. They really have made a statement to Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Nice, lads.
Well, I think the first thing we need to win races. If we can't do that, then they would have picked the right person.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing, they will come across the finish line without a win.
You can give us as many advice as you want. At the end, it's on the water that you need to make the difference.
The official challenger of record, they will go 2-0.
Nice work, guys. Solid.
We were very aware today, everybody reset to 0.
It's been a dominant day on the water for Ineos Britannia.
These were the 2 biggest points of our America's Cup so far.
Now, despite the smiles, and if there's one team under all sorts of pressure, it is American Magic. The Italians look comfortable and confident, but they will be just slightly nervous at the way American Magic pushed them all the way, so it is game on. Right now, Ineos Britannia are flying. They are flying fast, but it must continue. And for Alinghi Red Bull Racing, well, the must is they must win because the stakes are way too high if they don't. With Barcelona turning on another beautiful late summer's day, the race villages and fan zones will be full like yesterday for these semis. So let's check on the race course conditions with Shirley Robertson.
It's a big day here in Barcelona. You said it yourself at the top of the show, Stephen. Today, it's Survival Sunday. For 2 teams, it's all about staying in touch. And for the big occasion, the city has delivered. It's a beauty of a late summer thermal breeze. It's currently blowing about 9 to 14 knots from the south, plenty of power. But the thermal wind is getting more and more erratic. And to help us see this unstable breeze and maybe find some patterns in the unpredictable, we have the benefit of the marvel that is Windsight IQ, mapping out the real-time wind for us. We'll then push that data through the AC75 performance simulation, and without even getting wet, we can take an informed stab at picking the winning track.
So let's go racing. American Magic, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli.
It wasn't a great day for the members of 44th Street yesterday. The New York Yacht Club's American Magic went down 0-2. So today it's simple. They need a race win. If anyone can step it up, it's driver Tom Slingsby, helming with stand-in offside helm Lucas Caparese. And running performance falls to the reliable Campbell and Menninger, and pedalling like their cup future depends on it, it's rowing rock stars Shirley, Wright, Seder and Molitor.
The Italian team of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli had to fight hard for both their race wins yesterday against American Magic. The gloves came off and the Italians were on the ropes. They had to dig deep to save an early setback in their quest to make the Louis Vuitton final. On the wood again today, Bruni and Spithill. In front of them in the flight control seats is Molinari and Tessé. The team will need to be on song today to deal another blow and halt the fast-charging Americans.
So opening race of the day, day 2 of the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals. How much pressure is on the helm crew of New York American Magic? Well, we know there is plenty. But as we said at the opening, they may be 2-0, but they are wary. There was a 7-second win in race 1 against the Americans yesterday, a 13-second win in race number 2 to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. It's not a given. This is the America's Cup. So let's get confirmation what the race course is like and if we are good to go for sailing.
This is the race committee. We have met the win limit and this race will start on schedule.
Just what the doctor ordered, and it is simply for American Magic a must-win day. Stephen McIver, 2-time gold medalist in the Olympics. Shirley Robinson, 3-time America's Cup champion Glenn Ashby, and America's Cup tactician on the water Peter Lester. Got a funny feeling today. The nerves are starting to bubble, don't you think?
I think for this team, particularly American Magic, they'll be really grateful it is a different day. They're confident in more wind, and it's an opportunity for a reset.
They're going to see some ripping speeds here on entry from both teams. Perfect conditions here for the AC 75s.
2 minutes and 10 seconds. They can't come in before that. They are flying and cutting it close, but they are perfect. Green light. American Magic on port entry, now waiting for the starboard entry from Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Don't need to be too high here. Okay.
And they get the green light as well. It is on. Race 3 in this showdown.
Touching 60 knots of wind in the race start area.
Should be no trouble to stay on the foils in these breezy conditions. Lots of energy required though to spin the boat around and around at this pre-start for the cyclors.
Yes. Happy? Yes. Board up.
See some wattage here from the American boat. Guys having to push hard, making sure they keep the accumulator topped up to get off the line well.
2, 1 board. Okay, we are going to tack up. And rolling up a bit. Yeah, go.
Course is quite even, although we have seen boats in the sea breeze direction liking that right-hand side, so maybe we'll see them in their strategy trying to protect the right side.
2, 1, and turning. Okay, I'm not sure if we're going to go for the re-roll or not. Okay, stop roll. You can get down below.
21.
What do you think about the re-roll? Yeah, you can. Try it.
American Magic high of Luna Rossa debating when to push.
Coming down.
20 line.
Guys, 3 to kill 15 line.
Shut out 13 boats.
Line 15.
Final 30 seconds.
Luna Rossa doing a nice job here, holding the Americans above.
He's almost committed. Line 12.
Board up
We
here.
have a good side to leeward here. Line 8.
Hey, board up. That's the line.
Yeah, line 8. Line 7. Line 5. On 3.
Go.
2. 1. Half. And racing.
Go ahead.
Good start.
We are live and racing. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, the New York Yacht Club's American Magic. They're going at it.
Strong here.
Hard to make it to boundary.
Very strong. He's going to bail out early.
We're in a ride.
Both boats 10 metres back from the line, but look at Luna Rossa. They are flying to the left-hand side.
Keep doing this. This is good. He's gone.
Hey, back to normal, boys. Open a flat heel.
Building 4.
Good angle, no lower.
So Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli in a high mode off the line, forcing the Americans to tack away, but they are sailing in clear air, so early advantage to the Italians.
Let's go on to chase 0. Peter Lester, thoughts on the start?
A really strong start by Jimmy Spittle and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, and that's given them that jump off the line. The next cross will be crucial when American Magic come back on starboard. Can they have a piece of the Italians or not?
Happy to come out here.
Let hill. And we're just approaching positive one course here. We probably won't go all the way to boundary.
It's really even here.
Nice bump coming down
First
here.
glance, I've got him a little ahead. I think there's a good one on your bow here in sort of 5 here. I think we're happy to go. Stand by.
Yeah, we are. If we can hit him
Tom
or not.
Slingsby picking the moment for this crucial manoeuvre.
You see the pressure up the track.
Very even.
Intersection, Tenneke cross
You're going
this
to hit him
way.
with that shot.
Your call.
Stand by. 3, 2, 1. Put down.
Tax. Copy.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli just enough distance in front there to get their tack in and force American Magic into the exhaust gas off the Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli rig.
Oh, he's staying.
Copy. Still nothing huge ship-wise here. Very steady.
Nice mode.
He's a little bit above our hip, but
We climb nicely off him here. Hey, 1 over. Okay. Gonna pick our best time from here. Copy. And 2 over target here. But nice breeze on our inside. Copy. You can go a little higher time if you want it.
American Magic doing well there just to stay in that high lane.
To the top semi even. Yeah.
The AC-75 in these windier conditions, much flatter sails than the light air, so bending the breeze less and affecting the boat behind less than they would do in lighter breeze.
he's
So
taking. So I think we go one and in.
hang in a little easier in these conditions.
2, 1. Put down.
Nice step, boys.
Pick a fast mode. You can afford a fast build. Feels good. Like.
Can I get you with that?
Happy for flat heel here.
Flat heel.
American Magic slightly smaller
Wave
than Jim.
pushing.
Nice.
Not much in it.
A little bit lighter here, guys.
Yeah, just careful not getting too low.
Chin normal mode.
We don't want to be in the
First upwind leg in this third meeting between American Magic and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli in the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals here off the coast of Barcelona. And Barcelona has turned on a treat of a day, weather-wise and wind-wise, as Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli steamed to the top gate. And both boats just look beautiful in these conditions. They are rocketing.
All clear.
But it's Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli at the top gate first and heading for the first downwind leg.
Oh, big negative leeway skid there from Luna Rossa. Nicely controlled.
In comes American Magic. Early days. These 2 races yesterday between these 2 boats were as close as you could ask for.
Pressure here. Very nice right here, 200, okay. Yeah. Forward 7. We'll go in this. Okay, stand by. We're down here in 3, 2, 1. We're down. And turning.
It's the rower Madison Molitor.
Looks like he's just taking it easy, doesn't it?
Well, yesterday,
complain about.
yesterday when we saw him, he looked pretty comfortable. Looks like this early in the race, he's just going for it.
Those guys are absolutely on the river.
Down from here.
Okay. But on the shift.
Slight BMG gain there to the Italians. Really nice slingshot at that top mark and slight stretch of the legs on the
One thing I would like to do is maybe
downwind.
go past G-spot and probably come back.
No slower than this.
Really nice lefty, eh?
Yeah, happy to go. I'm happy here, but I don't want to go all the way. You know what I mean?
Bye-bye. Nice pressure to come here.
Just crossing our stern now.
We've gone past G-spot, any righty, and we take it.
Let's go on board to chase 0 with Peter Lester. Peter looking down the course. What are you thinking?
There's pressure here.
I just like the way Luna Rossa have just controlled. They haven't made even look like making any errors. They've done a beautiful job, good start, and I think they've made a real smart decision on their Hetzel choice, just being slightly more powered up than American Magic. But yeah, that Hetzel choice decision pre-start, Hamish Wilcox, who's their weather coach, had a big input pre-start, a lot of discussion, and it was the slightly bigger choice that Hamish recommended, and that's what Spittle and Bruni are wearing at the moment.
Luna Rossa looking impressive. I mean, not just about sail choices, it looks so smooth.
One down.
Had to dig their way back from being behind for the first couple of laps yesterday and keeping their nose in front, so always easier to lead if you can be. The Americans breathing down their necks on this downwind leg.
Sorry.
Type of round up, people.
Yeah, how do we feel about the one border, guys?
Let's cross over, your call.
I think we go one board.
A strong downward leg. First time for Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. American Magic have closed the gap marginally. But the silver bullet is flying right now. They take the right-hand mark, as you said, left hand for them, and head up on leg number 3. But not too far behind, and come American Magic. They are the chaser, or you could say they are the hunter.
Very nice
Oh, big foil ventilation there on the windward foil there.
Yeah, get it back. Yeah. Okay, just go straight here. Lucas.
Oh, really big loss there. American Magic, the cant not all the way down on American Magic there. And a big windward foil ventilation, so full loss of flow attachment on that foil, which has just pushed them sideways, then blowing up the leeward foil. So not what they're after at this point in time.
Glenn, how many times have you said it in this level of racing, and the margins are so tight, you cannot afford that?
Yeah, it's all about sailing accurately, particularly in these conditions and at this level. And the American team just not quite executing that manoeuvre as well as they would have hoped. Quite a fast but loose rounding on the Italians, but right on the edge of grip. Really nice apex and keeping it loose. Just having a look at the Americans coming around here. Big hull touchdown. You watch both foils there, completely blown flow, and a regrip eventually there to get the boat on the wind, but a massive loss in performance there. You watch the big slide here, massive loss of flow.
Yeah, just give it a shake and you'll get it back.
As you said, Tommy seemed to give it a shake. See the work of Lucas Brazier there, hanging on to the wheel. He would have lost the rudder there as well. So all 3 appendages in the water with separated flow.
Lucas Calabrese, of course, the stand-in helmsman. Regular Paul Goodison injured last week.
You just pick your moment. We have a little bit of a righty here.
I think all the way.
See the tip piercing there of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. The boat's going much quicker. They can foil quite a bit higher.
Let's go on board the chase boat for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Philippe, it looks like a different boat today.
Yeah, it's a different boat, but you know, when you start ahead, it's a really different race. We saw that in the past, and I think we had a couple of average starts, but I think now hopefully we're back in the groove and more confident, and the boat is flying now.
Was much work done overnight?
Pushing wave here.
It was indeed.
All right, thanks for that, Philippe.
Welcome.
Never a dull moment as a coach, that's for sure, during an America's Cup campaign. All coaches definitely earning their money at this point of the program, that's for sure.
Tell no secrets.
I think don't be shy on keeping it a little faster on your side. Forget about the
Stand by anytime, Pico.
3, 2, 1.
All the teams running a 24-hour program.
It's absolutely around the clock, particularly for the shore crew at this point in time. The focus really obviously goes on the sailing teams from now on, but the shore crew working behind the scenes. absolutely running a 24-hour shift rolling clock.
Performance. Good on target there. Nice.
No higher.
Italians really locking in on their ride height there, trying to fly the platform as close to the wave tops as they possibly can and as accurately as they can.
2, 1, more down.
Once again, the waves are not lining up with the breeze. You can see them coming in from the left-hand side of the screens. Not making life easy.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli complete 50% of this race. The third meeting between these two in the Louis Vuitton Cup Finals. 3 more legs to go and a potential 3-0 lead.
That is an absolute beauty, bear away. Absolute rabbit shot up the tailpipe there. They are off to the races downwind here. Absolutely ripping.
American Magic coming in. They'll want to get around this mark a lot cleaner than they did at the bottom of the course, which has cost them this lead. And costly it will be. American Magic around the top gate. They've completed half the course.
Nice rounding there.
Last time to 10 here.
American Magic, so are we looking to stay in touch and try and claw back
Just get to open course
a little bit of distance here?
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, lengthening the course to 1.85 nautical miles and shifting the axis to 202.
Good news, lengthening the course, lots of wind, it's gone chases 0. Better conditions for you.
Oh, that's perfect. A little bit more than yesterday. But you know what's interesting? That touchdown at the bottom mark cost American Magic the best part of 15 seconds. And just to put that in context, that equates to about 15 boat lengths. At these speeds, and right now they're doing over 40 knots, they're doing it about a boat length a second. And once you get beyond 10 boat lengths ahead, it becomes so much easier for their leading boat to defend.
On board, American Magic, 43 knots, 44 to the Italians, touching 45, so
we're just going to go to 1 and then right.
hitting the nitrous button. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli here. Blue flames out the exhaust for sure.
Every time we've looked at the relatives, Luna Rossa just slightly better VMG also. Potentially they're just in more pressure, but they could well just have the ability to sail a touch lower.
May not get there, it's no issue.
Copy that. Copy, Jimmy.
Big gains and losses for sailing the boat well in these conditions, so sailing teams really making the difference here, getting all the performance out of the design.
Looks like I'm gaining on the ley line.
Yeah, you can take some angle down now if you want.
No problem.
Nice. That's a nice pressure.
I think we do for the 2 boards this time, Andre.
Copy. Let's make sure to trim the outer.
Yeah.
Great shot of Bruno Rossetti. Hope he's hydrating in between races. They're working hard, particularly in the manoeuvres. That wattage will almost double from what he's doing now.
Okay.
Doesn't look like he needs his puffer jacket on, that's for sure.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli about to complete leg number 4 of 6 in this Louis Vuitton Cup semi-final. Just listening to the comms on Luna Rossa, you get that feeling the boys are back in business. Feels a bit like the round robin series where they were almost unbeatable.
Textbook rounding there by Luna Rossa. Beautiful apex of that bottom mark, nice and smooth, and back up to max speed there. Really accurate.
American Magic coming into the rounding at something just under 45 knots. They've got to get around because they're hanging in there, Patriots. But that one mistake at the end of leg 2.
Yeah, 25 this way, braces at 195. Good left here. Trying to sneak up here.
Nice smooth rounding there from the American team.
Okay, it's bad pressure. Stand by. Put down here in 3, 2, 1. Turning. press on here, Lucas. 8 under.
Time to go on the American Magic chase boat, and a new face, new voice. Terry Hutchinson, head of sailing for American Magic. Terry, I hate to say it, one mistake could be so costly at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, that's a that's probably a time in the boat thing as much as anything. You know, the timing of that board drop when you're ripping in there is pretty critical, and they got a little bit stuck in no man's land with the time of the jibe, board up, board down. So, you know, we're hanging in there though. We're probably one mistake behind. We seem to be going quite well downwind, which is nice to see.
At the moment, this will be a boundary tag.
Terry, it's Shirley here. I mean, we're listening to the onboard comms. It's quiet on American Magic. Are you worried about the boys?
No, not at all. I mean, I think they're you know, they're sailing cool and collected, a little bit of ice water in their veins, and so, you know, they got to just keep chipping. It's not a you know, this is not a time for any accelerated tone or anything. It's sailboat racing, and Luna Rosa's sailing a good race, and so we got to just keep hanging strong and keep trusting the process.
I suppose in many ways, just every start a new opportunity, Terry.
That's right, absolutely.
All right, thanks for your time.
We got the best in the business doing that.
Very measured, the head of sailing operations, of course, we well remember from AC 36 in Auckland.
They'll probably open course in 15 or 20.
Super, extremely experienced campaigner, Terry Hutchinson. Seen the movie many times before and absolutely lives and breathes yachting and the America's Cup, and great to hear from him.
But he said it right, and he said something that's quite valid with the America's Cup. It's a one mistake race. That's it, but my gosh.
And you are only 1 split second away from a mistake at this level and sailing on edge with these boats.
Good there. Pressure a bit softer up here now.
Both these teams making it look easy to get these boats around the track, but I can categorically guarantee that it is not easy. All
looks good to the
right.
Pressure on the right side is looking better after the mark.
That's perfect. Good for
happy
us.
to do their jobs well.
Gonna go the other way around, so good.
I bet. And boys. 3, 2, 1.
Perception's a crazy thing, is that they look so close, but they are not. Luna Rosa, Prada Pirelli, about to complete the penultimate leg in this third meeting between these two teams in the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals. An ominous performance from Luna Rosa, Prada Pirelli.
See today how much flatter the sails are in these slightly windier conditions, both upwind and downwind and in the bearaways, so nice clean sail plan.
New York Yacht Club's American Magic. They've hung in there.
5 seconds.
It might have been closer, bar one. I'd have to come back to it. Bar one mistake, it could be a lot closer. They don't want to hear that. That's what it is. Homeward bound they are.
Chop the puff here. 25 to the under. Can't quite get to open course.
Yeah, the drivetrain and the hydraulic systems on board American Magic.
18 seconds.
Only the cyclone's working hard, but those hydraulic
under here, keep the separation.
pumps, valves, manifolds.
Okay, stand by. 3, 2,
working
1.
right on the edge of what the design capacity is. That's right. 40 to 50. functions all being used at once in these manoeuvres on board both yachts. So underneath the bonnet of both these boats, I think the general public and even the general sailing community would be absolutely blown away at what is underneath the bonnets of these boats. And credit to the designers and engineers to be on the absolute cutting edge of technology and showcasing what the sport can do.
Left.
For the first time ever in the Cup, some of those functions can be linked. It is very limited, isn't it? But they can be all joined together. How does that work then?
That was a live shot of a happy Luna Rossa support crew, and they have big supporters around the place.
Yeah, Shirley, getting back to these functions, you can regenerate a lot of the oil from one function to another with all the boats as part of the rules now. So we've seen a reduction in the cycles in AC37 as the Italians look on. Ciao ragazzi, ciao a tutti. All having a lovely day. The Italian fever is definitely building there, and everyone having a nice time watching the racing.
They are jammed in the fan zone today, the Luna Rossa fans, and why would they be? Look at the performance that Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli has put on today in their opening showdown against American Magic. It looks like a completely different boat from yesterday. You'd almost say the performance by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli in their third showdown with American Magic has been imperious, because they have shut the door on American Magic in this race. They go out to a 3-0 lead and a step closer, a big step closer to the Louis Vuitton Cup final, and that's a reason to celebrate.
Back. Upside. Okay, copy.
You mean
Cyclaws sucking in some big ones, getting a bit of airflow over the radiator.
Okay, through this gap here, right?
And in comes American Magic. Oh, what might have been. They're 0-3, and the pressure just went up to another big gear.
Yeah, I think he's up on sort of Barber's line inside those spectators.
Confirmation of this race result, the third race between Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and the New York Yacht Club's American Magic, a 26-second win to the Italians. What does that mean? Everything. If you're a part of the Luna Rossa support crew, you are now perfect. It feels like the round robins again in the early stages. They are 3-0.
Let's take a little reminder. Both boats making a great start, just a few metres back from the line, but the pace on Luna Rossa just moved them forward and into a commanding position on the first leg.
Gate 2, a really loose manoeuvre here by American Magic, and just a bit late getting that board down, blowing up the flow on all three appendages there and washing off a whole lot of speed, which made it really, really difficult for them to accelerate and stay in the race.
By leg 5, Luna Rossa had a great lead over 400 metres, keeping it safe, defending well, sailing fast. And to take it up to 3-0 at the finish, it was Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli who took the win.
Nice start, Jimmy.
Nice one, boys. Good start, go.
Let's head to the winning yacht, 3-0, Francesco Brini. Boat seems completely different yesterday. That's an immaculate performance.
Yeah, it was a very good start by everybody, especially Jimmy did a very good job on hitting the line hard with speed. And yeah, we had a good tight to leeward start, which is always a good start. And we sailed a good race. The boat was sailing very fast today. We did a good job. Yeah, super proud with the whole team. Boat preparation from the shore team, the guys pushing on the bikes. Never had a single problem of oil today, so nice.
Does it feel like the boat that was cleaning up in the round robins? Because it certainly looked like it.
Yeah, she's back.
We'll take that, mate. Appreciate the time.
Nice.
Wow, how about confidence for that? She's back. Let's talk to Tom Slingsby on board the New York Yacht Club's American Magic. What happened at that bottom gate, Tom?
Yeah, we obviously had a big side slip and that. Yeah, and honestly, that's Lucas's first two-board bottom mark rounding coming in at 40 knots. So, I mean, this is hard to do, and Lucas is learning on the fly and things like that. Like, he literally hasn't had a practice of them, so there's been no wind in our practice days, so very light winds, and today the breeze is up, and so, yeah, he's learning things the hard way, and so we made a little boat handling mistake, and this Luna Rossa don't seem to make any, so it's pretty hard to get back to them then.
Mate, one more race today. You need to win this one.
Yeah, we do. No, it's clear as day, now or never. It's time to get rolling.
All right, good luck, buddy.
Cheers.
Right, lots of key moments, but let's have a look at this one. It was so impressive how well New York Yacht Club American Magic held on during this first leg. I mean, somehow they managed to stick to the hip of the Italians, seemingly unaffected by the disturbed air, and they managed to follow the leaders through the best part of the wind. And Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli did lead round at gate one, but the Americans stayed in the fight, in contention for longer, well, than most would have done, refusing to give in.
Okay, let's crunch the numbers with our good friends at Omega. Glenn?
Yeah, just looking at the average speeds there, for me, I think that's the telltale sign there, are not in it in the average speed. And I think we saw Luna Rossa there really sailing around the course well. It's not so much about your top speed downwind or your top speed upwind, it's the average speed on a day like today in these conditions that gives you the race win. Distance sailed, very similar, just a click more to the Italians, but the downwind average VMG, just a click more to the Italians again, and that gave them the win in the end by a couple of 100 metres or so.
Well, it's Britannia up against Alinghi Red Bull Racing coming up, and a pivotal member of Ineos Britannia's power team is also one of their most experienced Cup campaigners. Racing in the Cup for over half a lifetime, Freddie Carr is determined to make this campaign the one that finally takes that trophy back to where it all started.
This is now my 6th America's Cup campaign, and I've been doing it for 23 years. My first experience of the America's Cup, the 150th regatta in Cowes in 2001, where I sailed with GBI Challenge. And my life has been defined by America's Cup cycles ever since then. I remember the day that the protocol dropped for this cycle. Grinding had been my bread and butter for 2 decades up to that point, so I had to have a pretty long stop and think about whether I could transition into a cyclist, particularly at the age of 40. And I still had the fire. I gave myself 3 months, and I had a pretty good 3 months and proved to myself I could do it. From that point, it's an absolute no-brainer that I was going to come back for the 6th. I've had a great run in this amazing sport, but I have not achieved what, as an 18-year-old, I set out to be my goal. I want to win the America's Cup for Great Britain. And that's why I keep coming back. I'm an emotional guy. I don't hide it very well. And after the first day of the round robins in Auckland, we've been written off by the sailing world. And do you know what? You can see why.
We're struggling to make some changes.
We were down and out, and to get that boat competitive was a really special thing to be a part of. And we started to believe that we could do something really good.
Nice work, gents. Nice. Oh, come on.
I don't think any of us thought we'd go unbeaten through that round robin, but to go out and put that marker down was unbelievable.
Luna Rossa will make the match for the America's Cup and take on Emirates Team New Zealand.
Sorry guys, it's going to happen.
After Auckland, I had to sort of check in with myself. I was pretty broken after that. To lose to Prada like we did in the Challenger Series final eventually wiped me out. And it took me, I reckon, a year to get over that. But that's what the Cup does to you. It absolutely chews you up and spits you out. The America's Cup is my life. I might be talking myself up a bit here, but I see myself as like a really rounded British sailor, so I think I represent that on this base because I've seen so much of that world, and I'm very aware of that. When I walk on here, I am representing the Solent warrior a little bit, but ultimately I think I do step in here and represent a really wide spectrum of British sailors, and I'm very proud of that.
Time to go racing again. Ineos Britannia, Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
With every outing, Ben Ainsley's Ineos Britannia appears stronger, more finesse, and at times, well, just plain fast. Opposite Ainsley on port helm sits the impressively composed Dylan Fletcher, looking every bit the America's Cup skipper. Also flourishing, the rock-solid performance team on trim is Lee McMillan and Bledon Mon, and providing the power will be Rossiter, Carr and Cornish, all led by Olympic gold rowing medalist Matt Bottrell.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing must step up their game to keep their America's Cup dream alive. 2 big losses yesterday, coming out second best in both matches against the current challenger record, Ineos Britannia, means today they have to perform. Cup rookies Arnaud Sarifagis and Maxime Bachelin are on the helm, with Brian Matreau and Nicolas Rollard on the trim, and providing the power today, Malafa, Stahlberg, True and Tunick.
So we are good to go. We'll get clearance from race management shortly. But this is quite simply, as Glenn said, must win for Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
This is the race committee. The wind sampling is complete, and this race is on.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at the Ghost Boat and the wind field. Ghost Boat liking that right-hand side currently, but plenty of wind over the course, perhaps steadier than we've seen in the last few days.
So it will be Ineos Britannia coming in on board at 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and Alinghi Red Bull Racing at 2 minutes on the starboard side. The one thing we've seen from Alinghi Red Bull Racing, their starts are strong. They've got to convert them though.
Okay, stand by.
Both teams lining up here, coming into shot on time for their entries.
18 rotation, please. Okay, back and down.
Green light for the official challenger of record, Ineos Britannia.
Okay, stand by. Forward down, forward moving.
Green light for Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Now we're down, 2, 1, and diving gear, bridge north.
The Swiss wanting to stay tight as they possibly can. Loose there. The Swiss team, British, deciding to roll into a loop to then put pressure back on the Swiss team. Decision time now for Alinghi Red Bull Racing to match.
Your wheel, my wheel.
Oh, big touchdown there, Alinghi. They haven't executed that manoeuvre well. They're on the ropes here.
Pick them up, go the other way.
Talk to me about them.
There's your on board, to board, to break.
So they'll be looking at plan B and plan C now. Their pre-start.
Big yacht, big trip.
In tatters.
Yeah, Ineos Britannia on the way back together.
There's your attacking, so big to
Minute to go.
Memory serves me correct, they did this yesterday in the start box as well, with a minute to go.
British here lining them up. Alinghi having to avoid protest here. Big risk to that collision. Oh, that is super close there.
Don't jibe, please.
Must be a penalty.
We're good now, mate.
Richard Slater. These guys could risk rolling the boat over here, Alinghi, if they're not careful.
Keep pushing, boys.
Whoa.
They've saved it, but they are absolute sitting ducks at the moment. Big rebuild here
just
for
keep low,
Alinghi.
Kent, on the other side.
Enough breeze to take off on the foils again, but only 15 seconds to start here. The British time on distance from here. They've done what they've needed to do.
11, 10, 9, 8, appeal. Okay, let's turn up. 6, okay, hit it, boys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Drama in the start box for the third outing between these two teams, but it's Ineos Britannia up and flying. Alinghi Red Bull Racing trying to get themselves back up on the foils.
Don't burn matches, they're off the foil.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing just trying to get a little too fancy in the pre-start, and it's absolutely blown their foot clean off. Massively on the back foot now, huge grind there to get the main back on and stay on the foils, and they're back off the foils again to get through the start line, so they will have a huge deficit to make up here.
I'm sure we'll look at that port starboard again, but it was cleared by the umpires. There was no penalty. They must have felt that Ineos Britannia was perhaps hunting them.
It'll be very interesting later on to have a replay of that with the electronic boundaries, see what happened there exactly. But British now just having to bring the shoulders back, enjoy the ride from here.
They are still off the foil. Hey, main is good.
Seeing this another angle here. British, I think, actually in the end there, unexpected of what they saw. They were expecting one thing, and in the end they were just avoiding a collision. So very, very interesting situation there. But they put Alinghi under pressure, and they got what they wanted. They got them off the foils and in a compromised position. And an unforced error there from the Swiss. So very, very lucky to not capsize the yacht.
Keep pushing. And jibing. Don't jibe here, please.
View from above here. Yeah, I think the British there rolling through, actually jibing, and then becoming the windward yacht, but I think actually avoiding a collision. So the result's the same, no collision, and now they're over a kilometre in front of the Swiss team.
Let's go to chase zero, Pete.
I've got to say, I was holding my breath. I thought, oh my goodness, this is going to be a big one. And it was that last turn by Alinghi, and from there they were in trouble. And for me, what was running through my mind, that was the master against an apprentice. And a superb job by Ben Ainsley and his team in terms of boat handling, course awareness, pre-start awareness. Pretty to watch, but it could have been ever so ugly. So, you know, good avoidance by Ben Ainsley also right at the last minute.
Well, Arnaud Sarfagas and his team, they knew they had to do something special in that pre-start, and were really trying, you know, to execute a great start.
I agree with through my mind. Ruthless by Ineos.
Absolutely, Stephen. I agree with Pete. You know, it was a real fantastic display of extreme boat handling under pressure there by the British. Good to have a little look down the track at some onboard. Oh, here we go. Off the British there, so jibing. Real defensive manoeuvre there. You see how easy that front sail is, and they were full power down here going, we've got a bit on. And that is as close as you ever want to see two AC-75s come together at pace.
Crodas, jibing.
I'd say that cracking noise would have been some damage inside the mainsails hinge. You heard the crack like a gunshot going off. That'll be breaking carbon inside the rig of Ineos Britannia.
But what that's led to is this. At the top gate, massive advantage to Ineos Britannia on the first upwind leg. What a dramatic day we're having already. There's still 2 races to go.
Just to put all those in Great Britain at ease, it's not a catastrophic failure of that noise cracking. It'll just be some carbon bridges inside, holding the twin skin mainsails apart near the front of the mast, so not a big job to fix. Annoying for boat builders, but a bit like breaking an icy pole stick. They'll stick it back together again pretty quick.
Put down. 3, 2, 1, mate. Turning.
I suppose what we saw there in that manoeuvre too was pressure. Huge pressure being applied by Ineos and Alinghi Red Bull Racing cracking under it.
Okay, building on his head.
Still hearing that noise as they're jibing the boat, so potentially there's some sail bridges.
He's coming nicely.
Not happy in there, but they'll be looking to get them sorted out as quick as they can. They're all in good shape.
Top gate for the first time. They've got their boat back and flying at a good speed, but look at the distance between the two. Alinghi Red Bull Racing complete leg number 1 and race 3 of their semi-final showdown with Ineos Britannia. I'm sure the heart rates of Alinghi have come down somewhat. Really took half a leg to do it.
Certainly some skid marks on the race course, and there'll definitely be some skid marks in the undies, I think, after that intersection from both boats. That was super close, and a really good job there by the British not to put a hole in the side of that beautiful Swiss boat. Boys now pushing hard.
8 plus 6.
No time to really catch a breath. They're having to do a lot of trim work there in that pre-start. 2 complete rebuilds, which uses pretty much all your gas in the tank before you even get off the start line.
Back on mode 2 for the downwind.
A lot of pressure on this young Swiss team. Backroom filled with Alinghi management. You know, sailors and managers used to being successful in the America's Cup arena. I can imagine it's been a tough few weeks.
Looks like they are very good at doing out, yes. Elkins going out. And not touching.
Max Bachelin steering at the moment on port.
A little righty for us. Thank you.
You know, going back to the start, the other thing that's coming to my mind now is the regatta continues. Ineos Britannia's statement of intent. They are not going to be messed with. So it's another little signal to everybody watching that they are in here and they're going to play tough. If you need to play tough and rough, they will.
Not until 5.
Ineos Britannia around the gate to complete leg number 2. Sweet as roses.
Happy straight to
lovely manoeuvre there. And flight controllers there. Led them on, Lee McMillan. In actual fact, that not only that mark rounding, but that pre-start situation.
Okay, 25 this way.
Rolls on board.
Okay, average chef.
Let's go on Ineos Britannia's change back with coach Rob Wilson. We've been using the word ruthless in that start boxes. Is that a statement of intent about how you intend to continue this regatta, Rob?
It was. I think the boys just saw the opportunity, you know, just to get the advantage on Alinghi, and they certainly took it. I wouldn't say it's ruthless. It's all part of the game, isn't it? Like, everyone's playing for big stakes.
Rob, Glenn here, I'm sure not only you guys would have been quite surprised with how that all ended up, but there would have been a few nervous moments for your shore crew there, seeing that unfold. But boys did a great job to keep it all in one piece and keep the boat upright.
Yeah, for sure. There was, you know, we were all nervous on the chase boats, that's for sure. But you know, I'm sure it was pretty calculated.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate the time, mate. Alinghi Red Bull Racing finish the second leg and head upwind for leg number 3. And they've got a lot of chasing to do.
Extend a bit. Still 25. Very good mode still. Take this gain.
Past intersection, so pavement course here, Ben, 25 to boundary. Maybe a little press time on the bow, but any time was good.
Shot there of the British boat.
Oh, nice. Okay, stand by. Yep.
On to chase 0, Peter. The British in a dominant position.
It's pretty stock standard stuff now, and what's interesting, I'm just looking at relative timings and speed, and it does appear as though the British on that downwind leg made about 10 boat lengths, so they're not taking their foot off the throttle, and then upwind the boat looks just superb. Look, these conditions now are absolutely perfect, and I think we're getting a good handle on relative, you know, boat-on-boat performance. Who's got the fastest weaponry out here? And Ineos certainly are in the first division, no doubt about that.
Nice one, lads. To get to lane, no problem. 35 today. A little bit left bias to the top gate, so I don't mind taking that.
Onto Alinghi Red Bull Racing's Chase boat, Coach Pedro Sabella. Heart back in the chest after that start box incident.
Yeah, for sure. It was difficult, a difficult race when you have started like that. But the only thing I can say is that we are much better than that, and you know, it's we have one more race today to show it, to take it out. So we will reset after this and make sure we are stronger in the next one. It's good to keep going and to keep pushing to check the performance in this one. But yeah,
makes life tough, huh, Petro?
Yeah, for sure. You know, everybody here is pushing. Also, I mean, for sure, the guys on board, also the shore team is doing a great job, great effort at the base on the water. So we just keep fighting to the end, and we will be stronger next race.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, lengthening the course to 1.9 nautical miles and shifting the axis to 203.
Ineos Britannia heading at the top gate to complete the halfway mark of this race. The third race between them and Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Done with ease as they head down on leg 4.
20. I hit.
Ben Ainsley saying light here as they cap out at 87 kilometres an hour.
Quite good lefty though, isn't it? Yeah. Hey, my trap. Yours. No, now we can. Yep. Stand by. One down. Start. 2, 1, mate. 2, 1. Stand by.
Something still making a rather unnerving noise within the mainsail of Ineos Britannia.
Pressure here.
Swiss team now just focusing on their boat handling and executing this top part of the course well. They will be get the boat around, regroup, and fire up again for the next race. There's still plenty of racing to go. They need to start getting some runs on the board.
Left here at the top. Nice pressure here. Nice coming like right. Not so much steady pressure there, it's not crazy. Pressure in 2, 1 pressure here. Still a bit. Easing 1. Angle.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing now have completed the first 3 legs of 6.
1, clear.
It's a long way to home, 3 to go.
15. 110. 130. Nice pressure in front. 140.
Squash on their ride height there on the foil, so the thrust of the sails basically wanting to pitch the boat really bow down as they accelerate around the mark, so the rudder elevator getting over 2.5 tonnes of downforce on it as the boats bear away in these conditions, so having to counteract that with extra flaps on those front foils, keep the ride height level. All controlled by the human on board. Different to what the AC40s are that are controlled by an autopilot for the youth and the Women's America's Cup. These AC75s all
right bias. What do you reckon? Just go straight in and look for an earlier attack. Yeah, I think so. It is left shift at the moment, but yeah. Gonna have a little look and
You don't wish to take anything away from what the Swiss are doing, but right now this race is turning into valuable practice for Ineos Britannia. I know they've still got 2 legs to do as they hit this bottom gate to complete leg number 4, but you almost feel it right at this point of the race, pressure's off. They just got to go through and execute cleanly to get to that finish. That start set up everything. No one saw that coming. Not even they saw that coming.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, lengthening the course to 2 nautical miles.
The breeze just continuing to build, which is really, really nice to see here. Absolutely perfect sailing conditions here off the coast of Barcelona. Pretty much in any boat that you're sailing, certainly on an AC-75. Fantastic shot there of 7-ton carbon fibre rocket getting flicked around in attack. Huge G-forces there on the crew. Whilst the guys are putting in max wattage.
Got them here. Yep. You've got to keep clear. Yep. Taking main, big push lads.
Lee McMillan now in the offside foil trim position, so he's course managing and setting up base settings there, keeping an idea on trim, pitch and course management numbers. So all the crew having multiple jobs on board these boats. You're not just doing one job, you've got 3 or 4 hats on,
Number 2.
depending on what tack you're on.
Nice lefty. 45 still boundary. Leading down. Coming on the bower. Yeah.
Red Bull Racing finally getting to the bottom gate to complete leg number 4. This must be disheartening to say the least. They needed to do something in this race. They had to win this race to get them back in the game. They're not out of the game, but they're not far off. But I can keep throwing this one up. It's the America's Cup and anything can happen.
25 to boundary. We'll take at the boundary. Back 21. Very nice pressure in front.
The Swiss team pushing hard there. You saw the difference in the 2 mark roundings from the same position of the 2 different teams.
And Johnny. 2, 1,
Nice tack there.
Not forgot a little bit to go, but pressure 2.
The distance not shortening though, Shirley. The distance seems to be just leading out to our quite a healthy margin for the British team.
Nice lads. Good work. Much more to come in 5.
It's going to chase 0, Pete. 1.5 legs to go for Ineos and a full 2 legs for the Swiss. So what do we take from this at this point in time?
30 seconds to late.
I think there's two aspects to this one. It's you know, obviously pre-start, and that was a huge moment in terms of the story here in Barcelona, and it was really Ineos that had full control, and they avoided, and their boat handling to avoid was massive. But then I've just been watching the deltas at each mark. They've pushed on, and that last leg, on that downwind leg, they took another 6 boat lengths. So they're not taking their foot off the accelerator, and from that they're just learning how to sail this boat faster and faster. And you know, for Alinghi, they're going to. That's an uphill battle when you're 3-0 down in a 5-win series. So they need to do something special in the next race. And so from this, they just need to learn and try and come back and hit the last race hard of the day.
Yep. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, Pete makes a good point. You know, conditions are different every single day here in this venue. So if you get a day, you have to maximise the learning from it.
Happy here for now, keeping the cadence.
Yeah, every minute on the water in this development phase as well as the racing phase is really, really priceless time.
Ineos Britannia at the top gate for a final time in their 3rd race against Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They'll be heading home And they should pretty much bank another win. Man, if you're a supporter of Ineos Britannia, you would be pretty happy about that.
Nice, that's locking them in. 25 still country.
Wasn't their cleanest mark rounding there on the British boat, but they managed to keep the rudder in the water and boat on the foil, so still well within the boundaries of what you call acceptable mark rounding. That little skinny rudder, the lower section. Ineos Britannia not providing a whole lot of grip when it's close to the water surface.
That's it. Good pressure.
The only thing I'd have to say that I'd change on board the Ineos Britannia boat at the moment is the camera post at the back. I'm getting a bit seasick watching that camera with it wobbling around, so to the shore crew listening, you do your Aussie mate a favour and stiffen that little bugger up a bit for us.
Anything for you, Glenn. Anything for you.
Pressure 5. Gaining. To the right, yeah, that's up. Next one is a bear weight. Very crazy.
Really different aerodynamic package on the Swiss team. Both these two teams possibly the most aerodynamically aggressive out of all the teams, so we're going to see the different design philosophies.
Lighter again in front.
Pressure on us now.
Yes, you can. Okay, you're clear. 3, 2, 1.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Complete 5 legs. It's on the homeward leg, and it'll feel like a very long leg, considering the distance they are behind Ineos Britannia.
Average breeze.
No surprises that both teams are pushing the aerodynamic side of things super hard with their connection with F1 teams.
Down. One, mate. Good, lock it in. All the way. 35 this way.
This will be a full delivery trip here for the British team to the finish. It'll be crickets for the next 20 seconds as they get the job done.
Ineos Britannia, the official challenger of record, are about to put another win on their belt. That will make it 3-0 after bullying Alinghi Red Bull Racing at the start. They've done a job on them, and it is a big job and a big step towards the Louis Vuitton Cup final.
Okay, and jiving here now.
I'm gonna ask this question of both of you. If you're the defender sitting watching the rapid improvement and just you happen to meet this team in the match, would you be concerned? You have to answer the question.
Did we never have a collision course?
Sure. It's over to you, Phil.
Maybe you could time to work up here.
They seem pretty happy on board. I mean, I would imagine the defender would expect the level of progress that we've seen from Ineos Britannia, and also the level of aggression. You know, Ben Ainsley is a class act. He's a world match racing champion, and you know, the greatest Olympic sailor that ever was. So, would you expect any less? I'm not sure.
Let's go on board Ineos Britannia. Ben Ainsley, congratulations. I didn't know you were such a bully in the start. That was a magnificent moment, but gee whiz, did you see it coming?
Kind of. I thought at one point we might have been going aboard the Swiss, but thankfully we managed to keep the boats apart, and the guys did a great job to keep the boat on the foils and got ahead and then set a nice clean race, but good to get some action.
Good. got to say, Ben, you and the crew are handling this boat like it's a go-kart. It's pretty to watch.
Yeah, it's great conditions out here. You know, it's perfect sailing. What have we got? Sort of 14, 15 knots of breeze from the southwest. Bit of swell around, so it's quite tricky still to keep the boat, getting the performance out of the boat. So we're still learning plenty and having some fun.
Ben, how nervous is it in the pre-starts when you're that close to another boat and you're doing 30+ knots? Just describe what that's like.
Yeah, there's plenty on. You got to trust in your teammates. They've got to probably trust in the two helmsmen as well. So yeah, we did. It was a tight one, but like I said, the guys did a great job to keep the boat on the foils.
You sounded pretty relaxed, Ben, like it was all expected there. At the end, there was no fever on board at all. Bet your eyes nearly popped out of your head when you saw the Swiss bear away there. But you guys did a great job to avoid and keep everything up in the air, mate. That should be up in the air, and everything in the water that's supposed to be in the water.
Yeah, we'll try and keep that going for the time being. Thanks, mate.
Nice, mate.
Now, one more to go. We'll see in the last race of the day, Ben.
Cheers.
So confirmation of this race between Ineos Britannia and Alinghi Red Bull Racing. 2 minutes and 20 seconds, the margin between the two, after Ineos Britannia continues to fly and fly fast. And they, like Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, have a clean sheet. They are 3-0. Remember, first to 5, and you're in the Louis Vuitton Cup final.
And really, this was the moment of the whole race that really put Alinghi on the back foot. They did have a little unforced error, but set themselves up to get attacked by the British, and really that was game over from them. Shirley, really tough to get back into it from there.
Yeah, and at start time it was Ineos Britannia practicing their start and nailed it very much in control. I think Red Bull Racing struggling to get going. And by leg 3, wow, did the British outfit extend over a kilometre ahead of the Swiss team. And by the finish, they had time to enjoy the victory. Ineos Britannia goes 3-0.
On to Alinghi Red Bull Racing, and Max Bachelot, can you give us your description of that pre-start incident?
Yeah, that was quite bad. Like, yeah, we didn't manage well the boat handling. We were turning a bit too fast, probably. So yeah, like very bad management on that. So yeah, starting on the back and there's a long way to catch up. So didn't manage it.
Max, you're 0-3. How much pressure is the team now feeling? You got to get a win, pal.
No, it doesn't really change. At the end, we always go for the next race, and we just need to reset and be focused for the next one of the day. I think it's a beautiful condition, so let's enjoy it and push as much as we can.
Thanks for your time, Max.
Thank you.
Barcelona is a beautiful city, and for many competing here in Barcelona, the America's Cup represents far more than just a sporting trophy. It's elusive, it's the pinnacle of the sport, but for American Magic's Andrew Camel, it represents a family legacy that's been a constant throughout his entire life.
But pouring down the line, on starboard, it's America cubed.
The America's Cup's been around as long as I can remember it. You know, my old man was involved in 3 America's Cup campaigns, and when they won in '92, you know, I was a young boy, you know, awfully similar age to my kids now. My dad sailed with Courageous and Defender in '83, and then with America Cubed in '92, and then again with Nippon in '95. I saw people that I looked up to, you know, that were in my house on a daily basis, you know, I looked up to those people and framed my philosophy around and have become the person who I am because of it. That it was normal to be able to work that hard, to be able to put in that kind of dedication, to still be great families and great teammates, and you know, I carry that forward to my experience here. You know, it's made a big impact on my life, and it continues to as I bring my family into this, you know, my third campaign now.
Nice push there, guys.
When I joined American Magic before Auckland, we had never seen these boats go around the racetrack. We'd never developed any of the systems to make them work. I was a flight controller with that team, and I think we did, you know, a really good job for the most part. We have, you know, a couple of moments that people like to look at and like to focus on, but we had a really strong team there, and I think the experience that we had developing our team and our boat for that regatta, you know, makes us a lot stronger for this one. I think to say that the America's Cup is my destiny would be something that says it's a foregone conclusion, that it was always in the cards and that it was always something that was available. It's not. It's an opportunity that comes often once in a lifetime to somebody, and if you're not ready to make that jump, if you don't not only make the jump but also continue to be able to compete at that level every day, you're going to lose that opportunity just as quickly as it came.
Hey, you're 2 over, 3 over here.
Yeah, I'd love to win this regatta. There's no doubt about that. It's something I've been thinking about since I was a really little kid. Every day I work hard to make sure that I have that opportunity and that my teammates have that opportunity. And in the same breath, I understand how difficult it is and how big a mountain it can be to climb. You know, I've seen what failure looks like in this regatta, and I don't take that personally. You know, I see what success looks like here, and you know, I shouldn't take that personally either, but you know that we all do. We've got a lot of unfinished business on our side. We need to go out and put up not only a good performance, but we're here to take this trophy and put our mark on it.
We go again. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, New York Yacht Club's American Magic.
With 3 wins, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli are getting the job done. Polished, professional, focused, and with an ability to find some extra gas when they need it most. Helmsman Jimmy Spittle and Francesco Bruni appear fully in sync with an enviable calmness, whatever is going on. Trimming is Molinares and Tise, and on the pumps, back for more, it's Voltolini, Rossetti, and providing fresh legs is Luca Kerwin and Carlos Simon.
It's must-win for American Magic. Every point vital as they try to level peg with Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Going down in race 1 today just made things a whole lot harder. Replacing an injured Paul Goodison reserve helm, Lucas Calabrese has a hatful of talent. He joins Tom Slingsby in steering the American Dream. Flying Patria over the waves here in Barcelona is Andrew Campbell and Mike Menninger, joined by the recumbent power team of Hall, Wright, Bird and Cedar.
Well, this is what we have right at this very moment. Lots of wind. Ghost Boat liking that right-hand side. Plenty of pressure.
So, it's now or never for American Magic.
This is the race committee. We have completed the wind sampling, and this race is live.
So we are good to go for this 4th race between Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and New York Yacht Club's American Magic. The Italians will come in on port at 2 minutes and 10 seconds. The Americans on starboard at 2 minutes. And to echo what Francesco Bruni said post-race, when we were looking at how good that boat is, he said, she's back. And boy, does she look like she's back.
Both teams looking on time for their entries.
At some stage.
A little more breeze now than before. A little more chop, so expect to see some looseness, some high speeds, nearly 50 knots.
All good. Coming down.
Wow. They came in hot, didn't they? But they are in clean.
No problem.
Luna Rossa into the start box.
Rolling down.
Or down.
Green
here
light
in 2.
for American Magic in a
Down.
must-win situation.
And turning.
Staying on 2. Gonna keep the speed here.
Okay. Team can stay on 2 and follow his line.
Yeah, copy.
His Jeep, please. Quickly set up here.
Just below him
Message
here.
is all out.
Yeah, and his line's fine, I think. No problems here. Yeah, this is good. Okay,
Nice calm
getting
heads
favoured
on
by
board
40
American
metres
Magic
at the
here.
moment.
55, okay, showing low.
Down here.
Running low inside. What are we thinking?
Tom's next to be painting the picture, talking it through.
Holding here, he goes for the jibe. Okay, we can attack up.
Hey, milking.
Yeah, milking as much as you can.
Okay, so Luna Rossa will
He's sticking
coast
around.
as far as they can down the boundary there.
Potential
American
reroll
Magic
is good, okay?
will roll into attack.
Hey, coming up hard, boys.
We're on ley line here.
Similar scenarios last
Roll
time.
will put pressure on Luna Rossa, and Luna Rossa
He's on board.
potentially trying to hold them out above that committee boat ley line.
Both boats currently on the
One
ley line.
action a bit here, so I'm just going to turn down on 2.
Lots of time left,
Turning
50
down hard.
seconds.
Yeah, copy. You will see him on the window.
Yeah, to get 22 kilo, okay?
8 pin.
10 pin.
Okay, I think there's going to be a gap. Okay, I think there's going to be a gap here. 13 boat. Turning up hard.
10 boat.
Pin 6 or pin 5?
All the way up.
9 boat.
We're pretty much a racing pin.
Trap up.
It'll be hard to close this up.
Tom's there still on the time to kill and racing to the pin end of the line.
It's early.
Tomsling's been hoping to stick it in there to the right.
Short time. Order.
Okay, we can start the slow edging from here.
Okay, coming down now.
Hey, here we go.
Starting to roll down.
Both boats early.
Keep going, okay, guys?
Full speed at this. We'll get a better
You'll see
trigger
the
film.
boat speeds here just start rocketing as they accelerate down to 90-degree reaching.
Big push here.
Quite loose there on Luna Rossa.
We are a go on the 4th race between Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and American Magic.
Nicely controlled by American Magic. Beautiful start.
Converging higher and faster.
Yeah, we're going a little higher more than you are.
Very good mode, guys. Bit higher,
Locking in best we
same
can.
speed.
You're 100.
This is working, okay?
Copy.
There's pressure on the bow. Copy.
The Americans will be able to hold all the way to the boundary if they want to. Although a slight gain to the Italians.
Pressing. And that's
Same speed, same height.
happy to just.
Hey, we got a little build down there.
Just struggling for speed.
Be a little build, or do you think it's
He's
good?
getting
stronger every time. It's almost leading now. Yeah, I know. I got you. Okay, he's up so.
Okay, we're matching board.
Think about the
I've got
quality
it.
of the deck.
5, 2, 1,
And board. Or down. And turning here.
all clear on him. Normal build.
Okay, normal build.
Both boats sailing clear air here.
Your eyes.
Hey, lock her in there. Yeah.
BMG here. Okay, coming up to target speed now.
No threat to leeward, just the normal mode.
Really even performance here by both boats, Shirley. It's just a slight gain there. Starting tight to leeward for the Italian team. Just a slight advantage at the moment, so
Yeah, I think
the Italians are going to
keep some height.
be in a dominant
I
position
think it's
here if
pretty
they
good,
can hold all the way to
okay?
boundary.
39, 40, looks nice.
Nice and easy, boys. Lock it in.
Luna Rossa trying to
We're going to at least get to
forward.
across.
Get a good position for the next
open
time.
course before we go back if we don't feel confident of getting him.
Yeah, I don't think very similar.
Yeah. We'll get. Yeah, we're just coming into open course now.
I think we hit him, make him pay.
Okay.
On board chase 0 beat. Just nice even start between these two.
Don't go too much.
Yeah, an even start, but what impressed me is how Luna Rossa still reduced the gauge before they got to that left-hand ley line, and then when the boats tacked, out of the tack, Luna Rossa, to me, accelerated a little bit better, and that's pushed them into a strong advantage in that weather position as they go over, setting up for the next cross.
Pretty much, as you'd expect, Luna Rossa
Got 50 on starboard.
putting the foot on the throat of American Magic.
Now I think we go straight one and in.
Good numbers, you can edge right, yeah.
American Magic nowhere really to go.
Stand by. Or down here on 3, 2, 1. Big. Turning.
Gust here. Plenty of pressing.
Costly, those extra manoeuvres.
High five feels good there.
Around about 7 to 8 knots of boat speed loss, even in these conditions. So going from full power to full power.
A little further. On. And one down.
Boat's going through the eye of the wind there. No power, back into the power again of the rig. So it's basically a big lift off the accelerator as you're going up a hill, effectively, like you would be in a car, and then you have to put your foot flat to the floor again and rebuild the speed. So
he's going left.
Luno Rosso Prada Pirelli with an almost identical track to the first race. They said 1 and in, and it was 1 and in last time. It's 1 and in this time. And American Magic appear to have just gained a little bit on that upward leg, but it will be Luno Rosso Prada Pirelli at the top gate for the first time. They'll take that left mark as you see it, right for them. And American Magic will take the opposing mark and follow them around. Only 6 seconds, nothing.
still a really tight race here, and a really nice rounding there from the Americans. Race boat indicating that there's just a slight advantage to the Italian team. But a lot more pressure on the bottom of the course at the moment near that bottom gate, so both teams having to execute clean sailing at max performance. James right there.
That's sorry.
Well and truly on the red line.
Smooth down here. Yeah, nice.
Over 500 watts in some of these manoeuvres, so absolutely no rest for these guys.
Nice righty here.
James right, a rower, of course. Used to sit backwards.
Right, this is a 204, so average.
Thoughts, and that the heads of these four helmsmen are completely different. Luno Rosso in the advantageous position of being 3-0. And American Magic trying to find that elusive first win in the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals.
Okay.
Pressure coming in close.
We have to decide if to go one and in, which is a little... I would go safely one. Yeah.
They need to just trim it down a little bit. Take your offset out, Lucas. It feels a bit skittish. Okay, 0. Yeah.
Perhaps up, okay.
Okay, he drives back. More pressure here. I think we're just going to be patient.
Italian team just doing a consolidation job there just to make sure they take the same turn as the Americans there.
Saying that there's a left gate favour.
That's smooth.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the course to 1.9 nautical miles and shifting the axis to 205.
Ley line approaching, Jimmy.
American Magic have done well here to keep this tight.
A little further.
Question sitting in my head is, how do they get back into this, Glenn?
One down.
Well, they're certainly not giving up the chase. That is 100% sure. And they just need to keep it tight, keep the pressure on the Italian team, which they're doing a really good job.
Hang on, a little favour to the right, so I think we're just the right turn here.
With left turn and being on face.
Setting up.
Okay, a little increase in pressure. Will be up board up after
one
the
board
jump,
now,
then board down for
there we go, one board down there.
Copy. Not long here.
One board, okay.
Okay, stand by. Tiny bit further. Board down here in 3.
Going leeward here from out. Up third hill.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing coming into that gate. Look at that, just over 43 knots at the bottom. They take the left-hand mark as you see it. Whoa, it's rough out there.
That's a big skid there, using the bustle to grip the boat. You see the wash of the Italians there. It's not their best rounding. They'll be wishing they had to go on the two-board option there, but they didn't, took it on.
Much tighter rounding by the Americans. They're back in the game.
Little moments. That's what the Cup is all about, little moments.
Just all that mass inertia, trying to go in a straight line around those corners, and just asking too much of those skinny little foils to take that extra load.
Anyway, here. 3, 2, 1 more. Turning.
On board the chase boat for American Magic, coach Tom Burnham rejoins us. Gaines, Tom Gaines must be feeling a little bit confident.
Well, it's always good to get around the leeward mark and have a good rounding, so that definitely helps. It's you can see how hard it is. We're both got caught up on it today so far, so you know it's nice to hopefully capitalize on a little mistake, but they're still sailing really well, those guys in Luna Rossa, so it's a tough one. Keep battling.
Do you feel you can get them?
Oh yeah, definitely feel like we can get them, no question. We're definitely in this game, and we just gotta get a point up on the board here, hopefully, and keep working hard tomorrow.
Hey, coach, the boat looks like it's going well. What did you say to them at half-time?
They just you know, reinforcing a little bit of the modes they were sailing and how the speed's upwind, and then just talking about how they're maneuvering well and just to keep working on it. But you know, made a little adjustment on that leeward mark rounding timings on how things were going, and it seemed to work out well there. The guys did a nice left turn with 2 boards.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
20 to boundary. Yeah, copy.
Ghost boat options here on the simulator.
That feels like my 13 to boundary.
Not too much on offer there.
Board down here in 3, 2, 1. And turning. No board up. Board not going, guys. Yeah, there it is.
Sure, one of the design criteria that the American team have looked at, obviously going for the recumbent cycling position, but it's just the low profile hull being able to be a little wider on the cant and a little lower on their ride height compared to some of the other teams. So these slightly windier conditions, I think, potentially can suit the Americans
I would say my
quite
own
well.
race here.
Let's go to chase 0 with Peter Lester. The Americans much better in this race, Pete. Do you think they can haul them in? It's not that. There's not much between them.
Looks really solid on the right. We go back
No,
there.
teams are evenly
Stand by.
matched. Look, this is coming down to those small meters. After that top mark rounding first time, American Magic had a touch-and-go touchdown, which was a little bit costly for them, which took out the delta to 11 seconds at the bottom mark. But then Luna Rossa Prada Rally did that skid. So that was really 2 little errors by both teams that pulled it all back together. But I've still got a speed advantage to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli on the second woman to beat.
Thinking now we would be
Okay,
over
we go here. Stand by.
Hit him,
2, 1, board down.
Italians just working hard to try and lock this race down and not let the Americans wriggle free.
2, 1, half 1. Going flat the rear here.
Okay, he's 1 and in for us, guys. 5 seconds to lane.
Nice, stand by.
A little longer.
3,
No.
2, 1.
Nice one, guys.
Hey, good course.
Cyclors doing their job for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. We've reached the halfway point in this 4th race between Luna Rossa and American Magic. And it will be the Italians that get around that mark and head down for leg number 4. In come the Americans. Hanging in there. Hanging in there.
Big push, guys. Go hard, guys. Go hard. Good angle, Tom.
Asking for more from the cyclists. Big manoeuvres, these.
Those guys absolutely valve bouncing there.
Stand by.
They're ready for a new set of piston and rings after this race, for sure.
We talk about efficiency of racing execution today, but we've seen already one small error. They made an error, American Magic, in the opening race at that bottom gate, cost them dearly. Will we see the same from Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli? Will they make an error? That is skid in the last rounding. Still not much between these two boats.
the Luna Rossa team will be looking out the window going, these guys just aren't going away. Still putting a lot of pressure on the Italians, American Magic. So one little wobble or slip up here by the Italians, and we'll see a pass, so they have to keep sailing the boat well.
Yeah, we're on the longboard here, guys, a minute 20 this way.
American Magic on the right jibe. They look great, BMG here.
8 lengths behind, gents. Keep working. Bit of pressure now. Now we're in big breeze. We'll just see what this angle is.
Both teams now well into foil cavitation zones. So
25 to
those aerial shots will
25.
show those skinny little foils right on the limit as well of what they're capable of doing.
20 seconds to ley line. This is good.
Much pressure is.
Oh.
Pressure looks like it's gonna hold.
10 seconds to ley line.
And prima.
No lower.
Okay, stand by. Happy?
Yeah.
2, 1.
Beautiful jibe by the Italians there. They'll be happy with that. Absolute textbook.
I think we'll go around left gate.
A nice jibe on American Magic as well. So
a little bit of a fast.
both boats absolutely boosting down to the bottom here. The Italians 47 knots of boat speed.
Old Mallin's got the smallest of rudders.
Yeah.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Look at that, almost 48 coming into the bottom mark to complete leg number 4. They've got to manhandle the 7-tonner around the mark, and they do it just like that. Looks easy. No, it's not. In comes American Magic. Both boards down, playing it safe in these conditions. And away they go. Leg number 5, 2 to go.
Gains to the Americans on that downwind, Shirley. Absolutely foot flat to the floor, ripping through the gears. Ghost boat here, showing the American team slight gain there, a little more pressure and potentially better angle out on this left-hand side. So this race far from over. If they can just keep the foot flat on the floor and keep the grip in the water, they'll be in the hunt. Keep the pressure on the Italians.
We're closest we've been all race, guys. We're in this. Okay, he's coming back. He's across. It's close.
Let's go Luna Rossa's chase boat, Coach Philippe Presti. This one's a little bit tighter, Philippe.
Yeah, it did. Very tight. And we did a little bit of mistake the previous bottom mark, and that cost us a couple of seconds. And now they're back in the hunt, USA. We don't want to do any mistakes because they're going to be on us for sure.
I'd love to know what you're looking at.
At the moment, I'm looking at the boat just in front of me.
Okay.
Where we're watching. Obviously, we have information about the wind on the field, and we're listening to the comms and try to see if there's any dysfunction in the decision process. And so I need to watch the breeze, watch the boat, and that's what I'm doing.
Philippe, just listening to the comms from the boat, I mean, big ask on the cyclers. It feels they're right on the limit of having enough oil to be able to execute the maneuvers. How on the edges?
Yeah, indeed. Pretty much at the bottom mark when we did a one board roundup, and that was really unstable. When the boat gets unstable, you have to stabilize the boat with the sails, and that's where you ask a lot for the grinders, the cyclers, because you need everything to resettle the boat and have the boat in a proper setting. So yeah, this is really tricky. The power level is just at the edge.
Appreciate the insights, Philippe.
You're welcome.
I've got to say we're pretty privileged to talk to the coaches while they're trying to look at what's going on, and their chargers are charging up the race course on leg number 5 of 6.
He's out now.
Literally only seconds now in this race, so the Americans 100% breathing down the neck of the Italian team. The coaches not being able to talk to the yachts while racing is in progress too, just for the viewers. They have to disconnect the comms before the pre-start, so no communication allowed under the rules.
Rossa aggressively protecting the right-hand side of the track. It's closing up.
If you remember the first race of the semi-final between these two, it wasn't until leg 5 that Luna Rossa got the lead because American Magic had come out of the gate flying. Could we see the same thing?
Yeah, we're going to go on a lay line, a comfortable lay line here.
Come in, rolling up and touch rocket.
Okay, happy to set up there.
3, 2, 1, airborne.
Hi, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
Rossa, final tack to the top gate for the last time. But look who is coming at pace. Right, in comes American Magic. Wow, they've picked up some gas coming in, and this will be the last leg heading home. Race 4 between these two in the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals. Have American Magic got something in the tank?
Big push business.
Americans have to be brave here and keep pushing the boat hard and fast.
Offset to 0, Lucas.
Nothing to lose here for them. They just got to keep sending it hard. Shoulders back and go.
Stand by.
Let's go on to chase 0. Petey, what do you think? Last leg.
American Magic have had a really strong second half to this race. Initially, I thought, well, they've had another one of those little touchdown jibes on America's Magic. How costly is that going to be? I was giving them a bouquet, but that last jibe was a bit of a slider. American Magic are certainly in the hunt for this one.
It'll be low target, so that's coming here. Thank you. Stay with me.
This next cross, really critical for the race, and
really close here.
American Magic on a huge tow-away puff here, so
a couple of good maneuvers and
they are the giveaway boat.
Steer around it.
It's wrong to him, maybe.
Yep. Hold back. Yeah, a bit tight for the Catenaccio at the moment.
Copy.
Can they try a lockdown? If he does, probably roll out.
I have a little.
Be your board then.
Yeah, no, just be a normal.
Yeah, pressure-wise.
Super cool heads on board
here, guys.
American Magic. Great
We're going
words
the
of
right
wisdom
way.
there by
Trimming
Tom
you down.
Slingsby, keeping it chill.
No higher, please.
Okay, nice shift to us.
Too
He's
close really for
continues.
Luna Rossa
We're
to
going to a lay line
defend
here,
and
guys.
try
We're
and
going to
jibe
get the
in
right
front.
side here.
Just have to go to
Yeah,
lay.
absolutely too
Really
close to
all
defend
about
for
our
sure.
targets.
Little lift, yes. Super fast.
So it will be a drag race to the finish here for both teams. How brave are they going to be to push
Not far
hard?
off with this righty. Happy?
Well, they've got to be brave, Glenn. They have to be. They're not brave here and can't get the win. They're 0-4 down, and that America's Cup dream is starting to waver.
Can't not all the way down here on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. That's not their best jibe. The Italians didn't get the board all the way down, so gains back to the Americans here. This is going to be bow and bow.
American Magic right of way yacht.
Big push, boys. Big fun, boys.
Final quarter of the last leg in race 4. American Magic with the green have right of way. Have they got enough speed?
I think we are crossing.
Coming down here.
Positive crossing.
Down.
Are they going to snatch one?
Trim us down.
Yeah, all good.
Everything trim us down.
Oh, super close here. Possible protest.
Stand by. Eagle in here. And
So Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli get the win, and a close win at that. Wow, 2 seconds. The Italian fans go Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals. Woo! How good was that?
Wasn't helping there, huh?
Well, at least some burning kneecaps at the moment from both cyclone teams. They'll be sucking in the big ones here.
No, it was stuck at 35. I wonder if there was lift or not, but it just stopped pumping there.
Confirmation of probably the tightest race we've had in this whole regatta. 2 seconds. A 2-second win to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. But that 2 seconds means 4 points. 1 to go. And there in the Louis Vuitton Cup final, there is the number. Green, green, green. Green means go. Red means stop. And are the Americans on their way out?
A little reminder, it was a while ago, the start. Nice entries by both boats. They were both slightly early to the line. But Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli came out of the blocks with pace and just managed to edge forward enough. By leg 5, it was on again. A couple of boat lengths between both the boats. Wow, and what a finish this was. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli just cross in front of American Magic and slide across the finish to go 4-0.
Let's go on board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Jimmy Spittle, how good was that? 2 seconds, mate. 2 seconds by nose.
Yeah, it was a tight one. I mean, they were breathing down our necks the whole race, and it's always good to get a race like that, just to feel that pressure and still be able to execute. So full credit to the team. Very good day.
Jimmy, it's the first really close race we've seen. I mean, how much does that sharpen the skills?
It's great. I mean, this is exactly what we want. It's exactly what we expect. We've got 2 very even teams, and can't wait to get out here again tomorrow.
Yeah, Jimmy, Glenn here, looking at those guys coming down, it would have been, yeah, pretty interesting feeling to see them coming across and making the call to cross there to the finish, but obviously the right call.
Yeah, it was a great call by Keko, and we had a little issue in that last drive, but the boys just kept their cool and got the boat back on track. So, yeah, again, very pleased with the way everyone handled that race.
4-0, Jimmy. Congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, let's go across to American Magic, have a chat to Lucas Calabresi. Oh, so close, Lucas. What are you feeling right now?
You know, it's heartbreaking, but we're not dead yet, you know. We're getting better, even though the results are not showing, so we just gotta stick on it, trust ourselves, and come back and fight tomorrow, really.
Lucas, you know, you weren't expecting to be in that driving seat, and you are impressing sailing fans around the world. What's it like to be in the thick of it in an America's Cup semi-finals?
You know, I'm having a great time. Obviously, would like to be winning, but you know, sailing these boats is a handful. Obviously, trying to pick up as much as I can, as quick as I can. I think I'm doing a decent job, but obviously, we gotta get better. So we'll see how we can do tomorrow.
All right, one last chance tomorrow, mate. As your coach, Tom Burnham, says, every chance or every day is another opportunity. All right, let's just check out the key moment in a stunning race.
It has to be the finish. What a great finish. And New York Yacht Club American Magic was so close to turning this race around. It was important to realize the Americans did not need to overtake the Italians. They just needed to get in their way and to force a jibe, and then it could have been a very different result. But while American Magic walk away with no points, they will know they have the ability to come back, and maybe next time they'll come back all the way.
Alrighty, let's crunch the numbers with Omega. Glenn, take it away.
Yeah, well, we can certainly see some stats here, and the maximum speeds, yeah, 46.6 knots there, and upwind speeds just, well, actually, I don't. Well,
so
we'll have another crack at this in just a second.
We'll keep those back in a minute because look at that day. Here we go, cracking day. Let's go again.
going to say, I thought I saw a 51 there earlier, and 51 knot top speed, not 46. So average speed there, just a little more to the Italians. Downwind speed, just a click as well. But USA, I think when we look at their average speed and their distance sailed, I've actually got the USA potentially with their distance sailed being a little bit less than the Italians, and I think that's where the USA boat did a really nice job today, sailed a really good lane, and in the end, barely metres in it.
Foiling has revolutionised the America's Cup, and those wing-like appendages can lift a hull clear out of the water, enable it to hit speeds, as you saw, of more than 50 knots. That's over 100 k's an hour. Every team is hoping this will be their year to celebrate. Alinghi Red Bull Racing is confident it has the correct mix of youth and experience to steer their AC75 to victory.
To learn to sail an AC75 with two helmsmen was a bit disturbing in the beginning, mainly because it was new.
Being a helm on the 75, it's quite challenging. I think it's the important part to have a good communication on board between Arnaud and me.
The sails go from the mast all the way to the back and down to the deck, so you don't see half of the race course or what's happening. So you need really to rely on your crew members, and especially the other helmsmen that you have.
Bearing away in 3, 2, 1, bearing away.
I think that Luna Rossa, when they came up with that idea in 2021, was a game changer solution. And for us, it was the option that we wanted to go from the beginning. You learn way faster as well, because you can combine two experiences. You try new things way quicker. So the learning curve is much better with two helmsmen than with one.
Driving an AC75, it's quite different compared to other boats, because yes, it was my first time like seated and driving with a wheel. You have many buttons on the wheel that make many settings, making the boat faster, really like a car, I would say. Arnaud Psarfragis is a very talented sailor. I think he's focusing a lot on the performance of the boat. He's always questioning the systems and how to be faster. And I think it's one of the quality that is the best for winning the America's Cup. So I'm very happy to helm with him.
Maxime Bachelin, the second helmsman that we have, is full of energy, a young sailor. But it's great because we have a slightly different approach. His one is incredible because he's fearless. He just wants to send the boat around the race course at full speed. Winning this America's Cup will be a great achievement because we've been working so hard for this goal. I've been dreaming about it for many years.
Lifting the America's Cup, I think it's the best achievement I can have and the biggest dream I have. To be able to bring it back to Switzerland, making the same atmosphere as I had when I was young, when they won 2 times. So if I can bring this to the country, will be just an amazing feeling.
Final race of the day, Alinghi Red Bull Racing, Ineos Britannia.
3 losses in. Skipper Arnaud Psarfragis needs to find some answers. He somehow needs to lift his young, talented team. The unmissable reality, though, is that Alinghi Red Bull Racing are fighting for Cup survival. Inexperienced on the big stage, he needs to calm the nerves, focus on execution. Offside drivers, Bachelin, Trimmers, Metro and Roulin, and given it all they've got, all fresh for this crucial leg. Delars, Noti, and on starboard, Zaku and Survey.
The British team of Ineos Britannia here in Barcelona are official challenger of record for the 37th America's Cup and are on fire in the Vuitton semi-final series, winning all 3 matches thus far. They're sailing well and pushing hard. Ben Ainsley makes the big calls driving the boat with Cup rookie Dylan Fletcher on port. Controlling the flight is Bledden Mon and Leroy McMillan, and with plenty of go-go juice on the pedals. The fresh Cyclor team for today's race includes a big group of boys.
Yeah, let's check out the course. Plenty of pressure at the bottom half of the course on the left. And the Ghost boat likes that right side.
This is the race committee. We've met the wind limit, and this race is on.
And it will be Alinghi Red Bull Racing who will come in on port, and Ineos Britannia who will come in at starboard. Port can enter at 2 minutes and 10 seconds, starboard at 2 minutes.
Click more pressure for this race. We're over 17 knots all over the course. Going to be full on.
Yep, those big group of boys be pushing those pedals hard because we are getting to some really nice upper range conditions here for these AC75s.
Fourth entry for Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They get the green light. They are good to go in the final race of the day. Trailing 0-3 against Ineos Britannia, who come in at the 2 minute mark. Come in just a little bit late, but they've got the green light to come in. They're a wee bit up the course.
Slightly different approach in Ineos Britannia now, so this will be a planned manoeuvre. They had it lined up from a long way out, so all under control on the British boat.
Holding the board. Okay. They're getting very slow here, working up. Yeah. Coming up, Jim.
All these manoeuvres practiced time and time again on the simulator. Nothing left to chance.
Just hold off them. Yeah, killing a lot to kill. Come down here. Yeah. Okay. They might go for a circle here. Just stay high. Just stay high.
Both boats using their windward foil to stabilise the yacht, so it makes it a lot easier for the cyclors not having to sail the boat at full riding moment with full power.
9 on that.
12.
They are.
They'll be having nightmares of that last start, so they'll want to avoid that.
7.
Taking a lot simpler route, the Swiss team, but quite early there, and the British will be slowly accelerating to keep the pressure on the Swiss team. Very early on board Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
12. Still up higher, one more. Coming down here, pressing one bottom.
9. Coming down a touch.
Britannia staying high, letting the Swiss go down the line.
We're running the late trigger pull and engaging off to win with pace, so
2. 1-5.
big round up here for the Swiss.
Open. Racing.
We've got a race, the final race of the day in the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals. Britannia 3-0, Alinghi Red Bull Racing 0-3.
Yeah, we'll hit them. Slightly higher mode if possible here. Yeah, we can attack.
We can attack.
Swiss team only 8 metres back at the start, well executed. But Ineos Britannia in a great position for the tack that's just about to come.
The British will be just matching and wanting to just tap right in front of the Swiss team here.
More mode for now. More mode for now. 2. 1 pressure hit. Lower, faster, slower.
Beautifully executed attack there from Ineos Britannia.
Happy to take back? Yeah, we can take back.
Yeah, pressure speed now. They're just
no rush.
Not a huge amount of runway back to that side, so they'll be wanting to get to full acceleration before they tack again.
Yeah, they're just trying to get a good moment.
Ineos really squeezed them in a high mode. They've no choice but to tack back to that left-hand side with so little runway.
Tacking back, happy on a fast one. Okay, bow to bow, never mind.
So decision time now of whether the Swiss duck here and carry on.
What's down?
British would like tell him he's dreaming. We're right on your face.
That's on the move. Obviously.
Good first leg by both these boats. Pete Lester, do you see it the same way?
Yeah, absolutely. They've got slight speed advantage to Ineos. That was an amazing piece of helming by Ainsley off the line to gauge away and push forward, so that when they came back on port, he was really, really strong, and now they're capitalising on that. It's good to see that that Artemis is just staying in there, hanging tough. The boats are, this is the most I've seen the boats in terms of pressure. Small jibs, they're flying.
Another attack in front here by the British, just locking it down. Alinghi Red Bull Racing having to make some decisions here of how they sail this beat to keep it tight at the top.
Come for a fight there, haven't they?
Not a cab down here, Lee.
18 knots of breeze, and we're right at the top end.
40 knots of boat speed there. The British over 100 kilometres per hour, or over 60 mile an hour of wind over the deck, over the helmets of the crew on board. So a lot of wind noise. You see the going over the top of the cockpit there.
One and bottom.
So many tacks on this first leg, and just with each one, it's another 15-20 meters.
We'll be able to tack on us at the top.
Bottom speed there of 30 knots on the British, so tacking the boat well. These guys look like they're having a lovely time in their happy place.
Enjoying all the tacking, that's for sure.
Cyclists, they absolutely work hard. Portico there.
Ineos Britannia will hit the top gate, leading Alinghi Red Bull Racing in this fourth encounter between the two. Big boat goes around on the right-hand mark as we see it, left-hand for the crew on Ineos Britannia.
120.
And the Swiss will take the opposing mark. Not too much in this one, but we know how quick Ineos is downwind. Leg 2 in front of Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Trim, lower. Bringen. Lower. 35 to battery.
Nice jibe on board the British. Little touchdown there, a little wash off of speed on the Swiss team, but not much. It was just acceptable there, but British now pin the ears back and get the boat locked in. They'll be away.
Chase 0. Peter Lester, what are you seeing?
Average shift here.
Well, I'll be interested to just watch Ineos here. We know they're fast downwind, whether they can extend by the bottom mark gate. For Alinghi, they've just got to hang in here and have a clean race, because the breeze is up. A bit of boat handling could come in. Errors, mechanical can become a factor.
Just got the average heart rates from Alinghi during all those tacks, and it's 195 off the cycles.
Yeah.
You'd have to have a bucket close by, wouldn't you? At that sort of heart rate. Hopefully you didn't have too much of it past the lunch, that's for sure.
We'll extend a bit, go to the open course point and go back to take the bus of this right T. And say the starboard to the left.
It's not like the first time they've done it though. For these big boys, they train for years to put themselves in the hurt locker, which they love doing.
That's what people have to remember, Glenn, too. Years they have been training for these moments. These moments can be quickly taken away, though.
It's a pretty exciting development in the America's Cup. We have the cream of the world's endurance athletes part of this competition.
Little increase, 20 away here.
Swiss sailing their boat well, some nice clean manoeuvres. Though it says 360 metres.
Marginal, isn't it?
British only need a little wobble. The Swiss will be
I mean, they're probably going to go left. We can just go right turn. They're going to go right turn as well.
Slightly lower than the ley lines.
Take just a bit of margin.
Just a bit more, yeah.
Racing.
Okay, happy to go, yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, fall down.
Close. Okay, immerge. That's 2.
1 and bottom.
Quite a big heel out of that manoeuvre for Alinghi Red Bull Racing, so got to be careful to keep that rudder in the water.
Ineos Britannia in top gear, hitting the bottom mark to complete leg number 2 of 6.
Okay, 2.
Both boards down, keeping it safe in these conditions, and away they go again, making it look effortless. Don't say that to a cyclor.
Heading past intersection, so I think we're just
It comes
holding here.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing, not too far behind.
Now they follow. Yeah, 20 seconds this way.
The delta at 21 seconds, so they're in this race, but fight they must, and fight hard.
Try to hit further than them. They attack just before the boundary, so we can push a bit more.
Sensational conditions here in Barcelona. It really doesn't get any better than this, sailing these boats. It's beautiful yachting, and pretty much any other boat you'd be chopping wood going upwind at the moment. This boat's absolutely blowing the waves to pieces, locked in and smooth.
It's just jacked up on our hip. Copy.
Let's go on board the change ride for Ineos Britannia coach Rob Wilson. Team worked really hard on that first leg to set up this lead, Rob. You must be pretty proud of that.
Yeah, no, they took control of the race, that's for sure. It was real good to see. The start, actually, though, from both teams was pretty impressive. You know, the Swiss as well, they got a great start, and we managed just to get that lead out tack from the boundary. So, yeah, pleased with that.
Tough call on the mainsails for today, Rob, with the sort of increasing breeze conditions. What did you guys decide on philosophy-wise there?
Yeah, I think it was for all the teams, actually. Like, I think like out of the 4 teams on the water, all of them changed sails. So yeah, we basically hedged for more wind eventually, and I think it was the right choice.
How high is confidence in the team right now?
Yeah, the team's on a high for sure, but you've got to keep moving forward. You know, like hopefully we get past the Swiss in the semi, and then there's 2 tough matches with Luna Rossa or the Americans, and then hopefully the Kiwis finally. So you just got to keep pushing.
Thanks for your time, pal.
Thank you.
Pete, what do you got?
Now, just past that line.
So about halfway up the second windward beat, and it's Ineos just punching on, long star, but I've got them just being a click quicker, especially on the upwind, and we know they're so pacey downwind. Condition-wise, it's just beautiful. It's even across the course. I think today we get a really good gauge on who the fast boats are in the semi-final of the Louis Vuitton Cup.
It's certainly nice to see these AC75 sailing in some upper range conditions. We've seen a lot of light air and sort of light to medium air over the last week or so, and fantastic to see these boats being pushed hard.
2, 1, mate.
Top end waiting on that window.
Sorry, Glenn, I think everybody's been waiting for that to see what these boats are capable of and the closeness of the racing. Go back to that last race, we saw 2-second finish, and it was an American Magic ground that one out. They ground it out. They knew they were in a fight as Alinghi Red Bull Racing up, but they're up against a team whose development profile has gone vertical since the back end of the round robins. Ineos Britannia, the official challenger record, look quite simply strong.
Yeah, that jib absolutely boned on the foot there. Really sailing clean.
Ineos Britannia, they're at the halfway stage. 50% of the race done, another 50 to go, and they could go 4-0.
Really high there. Big traveller up now, big repower of the sails. They'll be threading the odometer to keep that bustle out of the water. We've only been 100 or so millimetres, maybe 4 to 5 inches of rudder in the water there, so right on the edge.
They have really put a lead on Alinghi Red Bull Racing, who will finish leg number 3, and they are trailing. Not what they want to do. They didn't come here to trail. But they are around the top gate and heading down on leg 4.
Slow down the turn. Good angle, Max. Follower.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, lengthening the course to 2.05 nautical miles.
The boats are getting faster and faster, aren't they? We saw News Britannia peak at just over 50 when they went round that top mark. It's quite astonishing how quick these machines are. And you think, well, just 16 years ago, the world speed record was 15 knots. They've come a long way. It is so impressive.
The boats are really going well, and it's not so much the top speed of these boats, because they're not set up for absolute pure top speed, but it's how quickly they accelerate from around 20 knots to 40, 45 knots. That's where the impressiveness is out of the manoeuvres. The bottom speed's over 30 knots, tacking, you know, as a bottom speed upwind. So boat's able to do over 40, 42, 43 knots upwind in bigger breeze. We're certainly not at the top end of the conditions. Around 16 knots, top end breeze, sort of over 21, 22 knots is sort of getting towards the top end. Basically, all teams now just trying to keep the boats actually under about 45 knots of boat speed. So they're trying to sail low down the track. You can sail a little faster, but you very much run into the cavitation, which is the flow of water going over the top surface of the foil. It's actually turning that flow into a gas. It's actually making the foil very draggy, so the team's needing to thread the eye of the needle for max performance. Downwind, keeping under the max cavitation speed and turning it down towards those bottom marks for max performance.
Yeah, that's tempo. Yeah, just left turn, eh? Yeah. Yeah, just can't hurt bias that way. Yeah, in the recovery. Currently in the right still. Oh. 46
Tanya's rudder, very different to a lot of the other teams. Very skinny in the bottom and
right.
Chunky up high to support that skinny part down low. So very interesting design philosophy. Dylan Fletcher
10 seconds. Outside.
on the handlebars at the moment.
Forward. 3, 2,
Ineos Britannia coming to complete leg number 4. You heard Benazir say just left turn. Away they go on that right-hand mark as you see it. 2 to go for Ineos Britannia to take a commanding lead in this Louis Vuitton Cup semi-final.
Really interesting there, and the British is holding that windward board down a little longer, getting the sails trimmed on for the cyclors before then raising it and actually going then to max riding moment or max power. So nice wise move there from the trimmers to look after the boys at the back.
Red Bull Racing, all they can see is the transom of Ineos Britannia. It's been a tough day. It must be so hard in these conditions when you're just a little bit nervous and you're a bit down to keep things rocking.
One more lap. Let's go.
Paul Jacot and Artur Survey powering the pumps there on that starboard side.
This is the race committee. We are moving the finish line, shifting the course axis to 212.
Let's go on board the Alinghi Red Bull Racing chase boat with Coach Petro Cirillo. Give us your thoughts right now, Petro.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, the guys are doing what we wanted. We reset after race 1, had a solid start, yeah, still we see that we have some gap to close with Ineos, which is showing a great performance in these conditions. So full credit to them.
You've got a tough opponent, Petro. Where do you go from here?
Yes, it is tough. Anyway. Let's see how this race ends up. Still 1 lap to go. And tomorrow is another day. We have another opportunity. Forecast seems to be different, so we may have some different outcome.
All right, love a surprise. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks. Ciao, ciao.
How about this upwind performance by Ineos Britannia on leg 5? They have hit the hammer and pushed it hard.
They certainly are, and voice of Petro Savello there, mainsail trimmer for Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli in AC36 3 years ago in Auckland, and one of the sport's nicest guys, and 49er skiff, dinghy legend in Italy, and very knowledgeable on what makes a boat go fast. So
Probably just keep it simple, 1 and in. Copy.
all teams having great experience throughout coach boats.
Quite a lot of foil out the water.
In these conditions, you can absolutely foil a boat really, really high. So really relying on that inboard foil tip to do a lot of the work. So because you're going fast, you can reduce the area because you have the grip needed to stop the boat sliding sideways. So the faster you go, the more grip you have. And so you're wanting to reduce the wetted surface area of that foil for maximum performance. If you've got too much foil immersion, you're too draggy. So the team's threading the eye of the needle with the foil high enough, just have enough grip for best performance.
2, 1, go board. Right. This one would have helped you keep it low. Yeah, okay, good pressure here. High mode to make it, but... Yeah, getting filled lads. Nice.
Yacht Britannia sailing into a nice big puff there on the course.
Yeah, copy.
They'll see that on the water.
Yeah, keep it in good shape. Yeah.
We can see it from the air.
Almost feels like a giant sat here, man. Copy.
Fans are pretty lucky around the world to see that magnificent Windside IQ live wind from Cap Gemini. Gives real understanding. And just a reminder, the boats don't see that. So you're the lucky ones. Wherever you're watching around the world, you can see those pressure on your screen. Ineos Britannia approaching the top gate for the last time. And then they'll head home on leg number 6.
Slowly down. Up. Mike. Pushing in there. Okay. 2. 1. 100. Hit it, boys. 20.
50 knot bear away there.
40.
93 kilometres an hour. So
going 4 down here.
the 60 mile an hour for our friends in America.
Okay, standing nice and smooth. Oh, well. 2. 1. And board.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing. It was a better start, but it looks like it. Let's be blunt. Looks like they're going to be beaten by a quicker boat that has not put a foot wrong in these semi-finals. Round they go. On the homeward leg. Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Big push there. Struggling to get the Traveller up.
25 Monterey.
On board Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Huge push for the cycles there. Real delicate dance, keeping the roll control and the ride height and the pitch all lined up around there as the thrust increases massively in those twin skin rigs as they bear away going through the power zone.
Nice one. Keep pushing.
I think Red Bull Racing have sailed a pretty good race. It's been very clean. They had a great start.
They have. They're sailing well, Shirley, but just not quite slippery enough to catch Ineos Britannia, who just simply haven't made a mistake in this race.
25 to boundary.
And that's what you would call, Glenn, sailing efficiently.
Definitely sailing efficiently. Beautifully locked in there.
Okay, stand by. Yeah, just go a little past it. Yeah, nice.
That's how we get you some of the beautiful cameras from up high.
Okay.
Our helis, the lads do such a good job. Just stay clear of Jimmy Spittle. Because he doesn't like helis anywhere near him. So here we go.
Well, this is a little loose there on the British.
Nice pressure here.
Not their best job, but a keeper. So easy to get the boat slightly out of whack as you go through the jibe. So real juggle there from both flight controllers, the handing over of the helm and also the trim of the sails. So a real practice makes perfect sort of an episode.
That's right, boys. Right in. 40 seconds.
The finish line is in sight for the official challenger of record. Alinghi Red Bull Racing, excuse me, Ineos Britannia are about to go 4-0 in the Louis Vuitton Cup semi-finals. Once again, they have proved too good to stop. Britannia is on fire. One win to go, and they're in the Louis Vuitton Cup final.
Push now. Holding forward. Holding? Holding forward, yeah. Okay. Happy that for a sec. Okay. Nice work, guys. Nice work, guys. That's really solid. Well done, guys.
Yeah, hats off to Ineos Britannia today. That is a very, very polished effort across the board. So they'll be very happy to put the boat away in the shed tonight in one piece.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing have had a heck of a day. They came in 0-2. They need to do something special. They had an almost incident at the start of their third race, but they haven't been able to match the pace and, more importantly, the power of Ineos Britannia. They come across the line and they are one loss away from going home.
A good push from Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They did all they could to remain in touch.
Confirmation of that result. It was 2 minutes 20 seconds in the first race today. It's down to 48 seconds. It doesn't matter. Ineos Britannia get the win. It'll be all green when you see the scoreboard for Ineos Britannia. Green is good. Red, nope, that's bad.
Well, this was the start, a lot less eventful than the one before. Both great starts from both boats, but Benesi did a great job of gauging off, which meant they were in control from the moment they hit the boundary. And this was the story all the way up leg one. Ineos Britannia matching Alinghi, tack for tack, really pushing the cyclers to the very limit. Well, by leg three, Ineos Britannia had extended on the downwind legs, keeping it clean and clinical and pacey. And by the finish, it was another victory for Britain's Ineos Britannia. They go 4-0.
Let's go on board Ineos Britannia to Dylan Fletcher. Dylan, that first leg, are we going toe-to-toe? Do you think that was the key to setting up the win?
Yeah, fantastic battle at that first beat with the tack and duel with Alinghi. Good to get ahead of them by the top.
A great day, Dylan. The whole team must be really happy, I think, mate, especially the shore crew for not scratching the paintwork on the boat. But how did it feel out there today, sailing in some breezy conditions?
Yeah, fantastic conditions out here in Barcelona with this Garby. A lot of fun to sail these yachts, and yeah, impressive performance all round.
How does it compare to the Moth, mate, in these conditions?
I don't know, it's a little looser at times.
Nice, mate.
Confidence must be high. 4-0, you've got one more win, and you're in the Louis Vuitton Cup final.
Yeah, the team's doing a fantastic job, and we just need to keep pushing forwards and working hard.
All right, thanks, Dylan. Let's go across the board, Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Arno Sarafigis joins us right now. Tough day, Arno. What's going through your head right now?
Yeah, tough day, but really great condition. I think we really went back on our feet after the first race, and we really tried to give a good fight to Ineos on the second one. It was really great to sail in this condition. The guys did a fantastic job on board. It's not over. We're gonna come back tomorrow with the same wheel to try to win some races against Ineos. But yeah, all good. on our side, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Arno, that was Alinghi Red Bull Racing's best performance against Ineos. It was a really clean, tight race from your team. How much are you really pulling together, and what can we expect tomorrow?
I think we need to gain a bit more for us. It was not a really tight race, to be honest, but was probably the best one so far. Good condition, and tomorrow we just need to pull out a win. Otherwise, I think it will be the end of it. So yeah, we'll focus on tomorrow.
All right, sleep well tonight, pal.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's take a look at the key moment then, shall we?
We love attacking duel, don't we? This was the first leg, a really tight cover by Ineos. Ineos Britannia gave a good lesson in turning a small lead into a very comfortable margin at the end. And it was all about being aggressive and forcing as much dirty air into the path of the Swiss. And sometimes sailing higher to squeeze Alinghi into a painfully slow tack. Then when the Swiss were forced to tack away and trying to recover, well, Ineos would then tack again and cover once more. They were gaining metre by metre, not giving Alinghi Red Bull Racing room to breathe.
Let's take a look at the numbers, courtesy of Amiga.
Yeah, top speed there by the British, over 50 knots. And that average speed, just a little higher. Upwind speed is probably, for me, where I think the British really did well, locking in and actually sailing the boat really well. Distance sailed, little bit less distance to the British, and again, I think that average VMG of 32.1 knots, a full knot quicker than their opponents.
It has been one of those days where we didn't know what to expect, but what we got was probably what many thought, and that was quite simply that the big guns came out and fired the shots. Quick thoughts, Peter Lester on Chase Zero.
I thought it was the best day we've had here in Barcelona in terms of quality. And what sprung me today was really just, it was such a quality wind condition day, and that is so valuable to the teams in terms of looking forward. The other thing that springs for the challengers, well, you need to have a strong challenger series to give the challenger that goes forward against the Emirates Team New Zealand the best chance of lifting the cup.
Thanks, Pete. It has been a heck of a day. Flags will be waving for Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli and Ineos Britannia. The fan zones have been full, but what a day we have had. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli and American Magic, they went at it all day, didn't they?
They sure did, and we saw some fantastic battles and some big skids, some looseness. As we said yesterday, we just want to see some breeze and some good racing, and our wishes were granted.
And Shirley, ouch, this was close.
Oh my goodness, what a lucky escape. This could have been disaster for both teams, and the first time we've seen that kind of action in the 37th Cup, but well managed by Ineos Britannia. They escaped to win the race.
Confidence is building, but this race turned into probably the tightest full of 2-second win to Luna Rossa. What a finish though, huh?
Look, there was some really, really great battles, I think, all day between American Magic and Luna Rossa, and then obviously the battle between these two teams, showcasing at the end what great conditions we have here in Barcelona.
So yeah. The two big guns are 4-0, and fans are joyous about that. They're on track to this, the Louis Vuitton Cup final. Win this. Remember, it's the first to 7 on this one, and you get the chance to challenge Emirates Team New Zealand for the 37th America's Cup starting October 12th. So there are the results so far. 4-0 Ineos Britannia, 4-0 Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. The common factor in both those boats, they are fast, and this is what we have tomorrow. Will we have a full race program tomorrow? You shall find out when we start at 2:10 local time for race number 5. So we have been treated today some classic match racing and high pressure put on all the teams. When they went out, they knew, particularly American Magic and also Alinghi Red Bull Racing, that they had to find something to stop the onslaught of the big two, the silver bullet of Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, and the might and power of Ineos Britannia. Wow is all we can say. Get ready for more tomorrow, live.